Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive with us. And today we are tackling DeepSeek's R1 AI.
Yeah, this one's been making some waves.
Yeah, definitely lots of buzz around this one. So let's dig in.
Sounds good.
So everyone's talking about this new AI app.
Yeah, they are. It seems like it's topping the charts.
Yeah, it's even like causing ripples in the stock market.
Yeah, and it's for good reason.
Definitely. Yeah.
This is a very interesting development.
So we've got a mission today.
All right, I'm ready.
We are going to figure out why everyone's freaking out about DeepSeek.
Oh, okay.
How it stacks up against like the big names we all know, like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And what makes it so different.
Right.
All right, so first of all, I downloaded it.
Of course you did.
I had to see what the fuss was about.
Naturally.
But before we get to that, let's back up for a sec.
Okay.
What is DeepSeek and why is everyone making such a big deal about it?
Okay, so DeepSeek is an AI company that's coming out of China, and they're really focused on what's called reasoning AI. And it's a little different than some of the other AIs we've seen that are really good at generating text.
Right.
DeepSeek is more about problem solving and thinking logically.
So it's not just about like writing poems or creating images or whatever.
Right.
It can actually like figure things out.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like a digital brain in a way.
Wow.
And the really interesting thing is that DeepSeek's performance is actually on par with some of the leading AI models out there.
Okay.
Like OpenAI's GPT 3.5. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
DeepSeek is free.
Free.
Completely free to use.
Wow. Okay, that's huge.
It is a big deal.
Especially compared to some of the other ones that are like, the paid subscription.
Yeah, you got it. And especially for, people who maybe are just getting into this stuff.
Right.
Who don't have a big budget to throw around.
Right.
Or even for like small businesses or independent developers who want to work with AI.
Right.
Without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
It's a huge game changer. And not only is it free, but it's also open source.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So open source means that the code is available for anyone to see and modify.
Okay.
So people can actually download it and run it on their own computers.
Whoa. Hold on. Running AI on your own computer.
Yeah.
What are the implications of that?
There are a lot of implications.
Yeah, I feel like that could change like the whole AI landscape.
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the biggest ones is for data privacy.
All right.
When you're running DeepSeek locally, your data isn't going to a company's servers in the cloud.
Right.
It stays right there on your device.
Right.
So, a lot of people are hesitant about downloading apps.
Right, especially from, certain companies in certain regions.
Sure.
Because of those privacy concerns.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that something to be worried about with DeepSeek?
Well, it's understandable to be cautious about data privacy.
Right.
But apps on iPhones and Macs run in what are called sandbox environments.
Okay.
Which basically means that apps need your explicit permission.
Okay. To access sensitive information.
Like my contacts.
Exactly. Like your contacts or your messages or your location data.
So it can't just go snooping around on my phone without me knowing about it.
Not at all. Just like any other app.
Okay.
It has to play by the rules of the operating system.
Okay. That makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant at first, but then I decided, you know what? Let's put it to the test.
Okay.
I gave it a classic reasoning puzzle, the two trains problem.
The two trains problem.
Yeah, the one where two trains leave different stations at different times and you have to figure out when they'll meet.
Oh, yeah. A classic.
It's a classic. And it totally nailed it. But here's the thing that really impressed me.
Right.
It didn't just spit out the answer.
Okay.
It actually showed me its whole thought process.
Oh, wow.
Step by step. It was like peeking behind the curtain and seeing how the AI arrived at the solution.
Yeah, they call that chain of thought reasoning or COPE.
And it's a really fascinating approach where the AI actually breaks down its thinking process so you can follow along.
So it's way more than just giving you a simple answer, right?
Right.
You get to see the logic unfold.
You got it.
I'm a very visual thinker.
Yeah.
So like seeing it laid out like that was super helpful.
Absolutely. And that level of transparency is what really sets DeepSeek apart.
Okay.
It's not a black box where you just have to trust the output.
Yeah.
You can actually see the why behind the what.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about how DeepSeek is different from other AIs.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how does it compare to something like ChatGPT in terms of actual performance?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
While DeepSeek really excels at reasoning and problem solving, ChatGPT has its strengths in other areas.
Yeah.
It's trained on just a massive amount of data.
Right.
And it's really good at generating text, like really impressive text.
And like writing different kinds of creative content and stuff.
Exactly. And it also has that cool voice mode where you can actually talk to it,
Yeah.
which DeepSeek doesn't have yet.
Right.
But what DeepSeek does offer is this really unique blend of power and accessibility.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful for those like really logical challenges.
Right.
And the fact that it's free and open source just makes it so much more accessible.
Okay. So we've explored the app a little bit, but now I hear there's a web interface as well.
You're right. There's a web interface that offers some additional features that you don't get on the mobile app.
Interesting.
And it's really more geared towards people who want to dive a little deeper and kind of explore the more technical side of things.
Okay, so after playing around with the app on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
I fired up the web interface on my computer. And what really caught my eye was that you can actually run code directly within the interface.
Yeah,
Now, I'm not a programmer,
sure.
but I dabble a bit.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what, let's put on my developer hat, at least try to, and ask DeepSeek to generate some code for like a simple 3D animation.
Okay, interesting.
And you know what? It actually worked.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive.
It seems like DeepSeek is a multi-talented AI capable of handling both complex reasoning and code generation.
Now, to be fair, I also tried the same task with ChatGPT.
Okay.
And its code was a bit more visually sophisticated.
Yeah.
But hey, for a free tool, DeepSeek held its own.
It sounds like both models have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, different tools for different jobs.
Okay, so for my final test, I wanted to see how DeepSeek handled creative writing.
Okay.
So I challenged both DeepSeek and ChatGPT to write a funny script about the iPhone 17.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was, and I was really surprised by DeepSeek's script.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually quite funny.
Okay.
It had more engaging and personable tone, and it even threw in a little joke about Tim Cook.
Oh, nice.
ChatGPT's script was decent,
Okay.
but it lacked that certain spark.
So it sounds like DeepSeek has potential beyond just logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
It could tap into that creative side as well.
Absolutely. But remember how we talked about DeepSeek being open source?
Yes.
Well, that means you can actually run it locally on your computer using platforms like LM Studio.
Ah, yes. LM Studio, a great platform that lets you run various AI models on your own computer, including DeepSeek.
And that's a great option for people who are really concerned about data privacy.
Absolutely. Your data stays right there on your device. No need to send anything to the cloud.
Exactly.
And it also opens up a world of possibilities for customization.
Okay.
When you're running DeepSeek locally, you can potentially tweak the code experiment with different settings and really make it your own.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about DeepSeek's impressive reasoning capabilities, its code generation skills, and even its surprising knack for creative writing.
It's a pretty versatile AI.
It is. But there's one big question we haven't tackled yet.
Oh.
And it's kind of the elephant in the room.
Okay. I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah. What about the fact that DeepSeek is developed by a Chinese company?
Yeah.
I mean, it's natural for people to wonder about data privacy, especially, given the current geopolitical climate.
Yeah, it's definitely the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I'll admit that thought crossed my mind too.
It's an important concern.
Yeah.
And, DeepSeek's privacy policy does state that they collect data like user input and IP addresses and store it on servers in China.
Okay, but I mean, a lot of other AI companies collect similar data.
Right, exactly. It's a broader conversation about data privacy in the age of AI, regardless of where a company is headquartered.
Right, so it's not necessarily unique to DeepSeek.
Exactly.
Okay, so what options are out there for people who are really privacy anxious?
Well, we talked about running DeepSeek locally on your own computer.
Right.
But for folks who may not be comfortable doing that, there are US-based AI providers like Together AI that offer access to DeepSeek R1 on their servers. So that way your data wouldn't be going directly to DeepSeek servers in China.
So there are options.
Yeah, there are definitely options.
Okay, but let's step back for a second.
Okay.
We've been talking about DeepSeek's features.
Yeah.
Comparing it to other AIs.
Right.
But what does all this mean for, like, the average person?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does this technology translate into real-world impact? And I think one of the most exciting things about DeepSeek is its potential to really democratize access to AI.
So you're saying AI could become something that, like, anyone can use?
Exactly. Think about it. Small businesses could use AI to personalize their marketing, analyze customer data, even automate some of their operations.
Wow.
Students could have access to AI tutors that adapt to their learning styles. The possibilities are vast.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
But it also makes you think about like the potential downsides.
Sure.
Right? Like what happens to jobs if AI starts taking over more tasks?
Of course.
How do we ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly?
These are crucial questions.
That we need to address as a society. The rise of AI presents both incredible opportunities and very complex challenges.
Yeah.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads.
Right.
And the choices we make today will shape the future of AI and its impact on our lives.
Okay. Deep thoughts.
Yeah.
So we've established that DeepSeek is making waves with its free and open source approach.
Right.
But I keep coming back to that low development cost.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier it costs under $6 million for one training cycle.
Right.
That seems incredibly cheap compared to what other companies are spending.
It's surprisingly low.
Yeah.
And it's causing quite a stir in the AI community.
Really?
Some experts are even skeptical about those figures.
Wow.
But if they're accurate,
yeah,
it could have major implications.
Like what could this mean for the future of AI development?
Well, for one thing, it could really lower the barrier to entry for new AI companies.
Okay.
We might see a surge of startups popping up.
Each with their own unique approach to AI, it could really spark a new wave of innovation and competition in the field.
So instead of just a handful of big players dominating the AI landscape,
right,
we could see like a more diverse ecosystem of companies and developers.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty exciting.
It's definitely a possibility, and this increased competition could lead to even faster advancements in AI technology,
Right.
which could benefit everyone in the long run.
Okay, so now before we get too carried away
Sure.
with all the potential benefits,
Yeah.
let's talk about the practicalities.
Okay.
How does DeepSeek actually work? We've mentioned reasoning AI,
Yes.
chain of thought.
Right.
Can you break that down for like someone who might be new to all of this?
Of course. So in essence, DeepSeek is designed to really excel at multi-step thinking and problem solving.
Okay.
It goes beyond simply generating text or completing sentences.
Right.
It's about understanding complex relationships,
Okay.
analyzing information, and drawing logical conclusions.
So it's not just like a fancy autocomplete.
Sorry.
It's more like a digital brain that can actually reason things out.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And the chain of thought aspect is really crucial here.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving you an answer, DeepSeek shows you its step-by-step thought process.
Okay.
It's like having a window into the AI's mind,
Okay.
seeing how it arrived at a particular conclusion.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I gave DeepSeek that two trains problem.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't just spit out the time they would meet.
Right.
It showed me all the calculations
Yeah.
and the steps it took to get there.
Exactly. And that level of transparency is what makes DeepSeek so unique and so potentially transformative.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Good.
But I'm also curious about how DeepSeek actually learns and improves over time.
Sure.
You mentioned something called reinforcement learning earlier.
Yes.
What's that all about?
So reinforcement learning, or RL, is a key part of how DeepSeek gets better at what it does.
Okay.
It's essentially a way for the AI to learn from its experiences.
Okay.
Imagine you're training a dog. When the dog does something good,
Yeah.
you give it a treat as a reward.
Right.
And over time, the dog learns to repeat those behaviors to get more treats.
So it's like DeepSeek gets virtual treats for solving problems correctly.
Exactly. And when it makes mistakes, it learns from those too
Okay.
and adjusts its approach to improve its performance.
So it's constantly learning.
Yes, this continuous learning process is crucial to DeepSeek's evolution.
That's fascinating. It's like getting smarter all the time.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we are.
From data privacy concerns
Right.
to the potential impact on various industries.
Mm-hmm.
We've explored DeepSeek's features,
Yeah.
its strengths,
Yes.
its limitations.
For sure.
But I think it's time to bring it all together.
Okay.
What does the emergence of DeepSeek R1 really signify?
I think DeepSeek represents a potential paradigm shift in the world of AI.
A paradigm shift.
It is a big statement,
It is.
but I believe it's warranted. DeepSeek is really challenging the status quo with its open source nature,
Right.
its affordability,
Yeah.
and its focus on transparency. It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible
Yeah.
and raising fundamental questions about how we develop and interact with AI.
So what you're saying is DeepSeek is more than just a new AI tool.
Yes,
It's a sign of things to come.
I think so.
A glimpse into a future where AI is more accessible,
Absolutely.
More transparent.
Yes.
And potentially more beneficial for everyone.
Precisely. And that brings us to an even bigger question. What if this is just the beginning? What if DeepSeek R1 is just a spark that ignites a whole new era of AI development?
You're saying this could be bigger than just one AI model.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine a world where the tools to create and interact with these really powerful AIs are available to anyone with a computer and an internet connection. What could that unleash?
It's both exciting and a little daunting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we're on the verge of something massive, but we don't know exactly what it's going to look like.
That's the beauty of it, the uncertainty. We're exploring uncharted territory, and the possibilities are really only limited by our imagination.
Okay, so let's say you're right. Let's say DeepSeek R1 is just the first wave in this AI tsunami. What does that mean for our listeners? What should they be doing to prepare for this AI-powered future?
Well, first and foremost, I would say embrace your curiosity.
So,
Don't shy away from learning about AI, even if it seems intimidating at first.
okay.
There are tons of resources available online, from introductory articles to in-depth courses.
So you're saying don't be afraid to just dive in and start exploring.
Exactly. And don't just read about it. Try it out.
Okay.
Experiment with different AI tools and platforms. See what works for you, what sparks your interest.
Right.
Remember, AI is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it's all about learning how to use it effectively.
So it sounds like you're advocating for a more hands-on approach, like getting your hands dirty, so to speak.
Absolutely. The best way to learn about AI is to actually use it. And who knows, maybe you'll discover a new application or come up with a brilliant idea that nobody's thought of before.
That's a great point. You don't have to be a programmer
Right?
or a data scientist to engage with AI. It's about finding ways to incorporate it into your work, your hobbies, even your everyday life.
And don't forget the importance of critical thinking.
Okay.
As AI becomes more pervasive, it's crucial to develop the skills to evaluate information,
Right.
to discern fact from fiction, and to understand the potential biases and limitations of these AI systems.
So it's not just about learning how to use AI. It's about learning how to think critically about it.
Exactly.
To be discerning consumers of AI-generated information.
Precisely. AI is a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's not a magic solution.
Right.
We need to approach it with both enthusiasm and a healthy dose of skepticism.
Well said. So to recap,
Yeah.
embrace your curiosity, experiment with different AI tools, and don't forget to think critically about the information you encounter.
That's it.
That sounds like a solid plan for navigating this AI-powered future.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Right.
The AI landscape is evolving so rapidly, and what we're seeing today is just a glimpse of what's to come.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting time to be alive, and the possibilities are truly endless.
Well, on that inspiring note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into DeepSeek R1.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
We've uncovered its unique features, its potential to disrupt the AI industry, and really the broader implications for our society.
But as we've emphasized throughout this deep dive, the conversation doesn't end here.
So we leave you with this final thought. What role will you play in shaping this AI-powered future?
Will you be a passive observer or an active participant?
The choice is yours. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
See you next time.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.